Alright, so I needed a video for today. It was dark, super dark all day, so I didn't get outside to get any farm stuff done. So I got to thinking, and I was like, you know what? I haven't done a highlight or a story on who I actually am, or who we Salty Cow Farms actually are. So I guess I'll start there, true rant style, because as you guys have seen by now, I run this entire channel from my phone, and I'm not tech savvy. Like, I know how to change the earth. I know how to change people's body structures. I know how to change the unseen, but I don't know how to, like, film it and make the unseen seen. So, apologies. Appreciate anybody out there who appreciates a good story unfolding slowly. Like all good things, they take time. Um, but my name is Joe Litke. My full name is Adam Joseph. Uh, but I don't go by that name, even though Adam was more of the earth than Joseph was. He was an irresponsible prick, so, I don't really fucks with that anymore since I'm older and I understand the story. Uh, you know, Joseph fucking fed people through famine, so, like, I fucks with that. Uh, and that's who I've been. I didn't know that's who I've been, but that's who I've been for a long time. I started going by Joe when I joined the Army, and when I joined the Army, Duke, why are you barking at me? Yeah, I can't help you, bro. When I joined the Army, I didn't realize that I was going to the Army to feed people, spiritually, physically, whatever. So, but that's what I ended up doing, and, that's just how I see the story unfolded now. So, but anyways, Salty Cow Farms, our mission is to deliver high-quality proteins to the people of Texas. So that's what I'm trying to do. And right now, on paper, I am an absolute nothing burger. I have had cows on like an FFA scale for 3.5, 4, 5. I guess the cows have technically been mine for 4.5 years. And Sean has been with us. Sean is my wagyu bull. Sean has been with us, slowly getting me started for 3 of those. 3 of those, I think so. Yeah. And so, we also do some judging. Maybe in the future, I will judge FFA, pigs, goats, horses, cows. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds for me in that regard. But my wife and I, Jamie, we both judge powerlifting in the winter. There's nothing else going on. It's the rainy season. So when I'm not capturing water on the farm, then I'm really not doing anything else. It's wet enough that my massage practice, I've been a licensed massage practitioner for 15 years in June. But during the rainy season, I work on enough people here, outdoors, open air style in Texas, that during the rainy season, there's a, I don't know, 15 to 20% downturn. So, I have even more dwell time. So a few years ago, Jamie and I started doing the high school powerlifting. So you see some shorts from that. But here in a couple weeks, that'll be over. That'll be done. And you'll see pretty much just straight massage therapy content from me, and the farm stuff. Also, in a couple weeks here, we will have sunshine again, and we will be over 70 degrees on a regular basis. Seeds will start germinating, and I can start to show you guys what I actually do, because that's another thing. How am I even, I don't even see a reason to become a better videographer. It's not like I'm going to be able to, A, tell the cows to fuck faster, or B, tell the seeds to germinate any faster. So, I have to let this story document and unfold at the speed that it's going to do that anyways. So, slowly but surely, I've been building up according to my mission, my previously stated mission. I've been playing with chickens. My wife has chickens. That's what I started with when I inherited this farm. I have to go check the meat on the stove, so I'm going to pause this and I'll be right back. So yeah, I started with chickens. I had considered doing meat chickens, and if I was going to do meat chickens, I was going to do heritage breeds. I did not want to do the broilers because ugh, I just don't like broilers. I don't like what we did with that. It's gross. I don't, but whatever. That's just a me thing. I don't care. I still eat broilers. I still appreciate anybody else who wants to raise them ethically and whatnot. It's just, wasn't, once I did the research, it wasn't for me. So I considered Brahmas. Um, and turns out I'm actually pretty fucking good at making Brahmas. Uh, I had two roosters early on I had to get rid of because they were literally just so much bigger than all my other chicken ladies. They just couldn't stay. And Brahmas are like a 2 year maturation chicken. Um, so it, excuse me, it just wasn't feasible. For a little bit of context, my wife is an equestrian, so that the plot of land that she has that I inherited when I joined with her. Um, Man, I don't know what is up with this cough, but it's annoying. But anyways, when I joined up with my wife here on this plot of land, she has 6 acres, and at the time she had 3 horses and some chickens and brisket, which I've already told Brisket's story in the stewardship stories. And so I needed something to bridge into that, and my Brahma chickens didn't end up feasible because I just didn't. At the end of the day, I just didn't want to build uh, a chicken coop that big, because you can look up Brahmas. They're a tremendously large chicken breed. So like turkey, like conventional turkey size or commercial turkey size or whatever. So I considered rabbits because rabbits are a big thing here in Copper's Cove. We even have Rabbit Fest. Actually, recently I reconsidered rabbits because one of my massage uh, clients, she feeds her dog raw. She's got some sort of weird dog breed. He's like a weird mastiff, like an Egyptian mastiff or some shit. I don't remember exactly what the breed is called. My wife could tell me, but she feeds him raw, so she has to supply the rabbits. And she just doesn't want to do that anymore. She wants to go through a raw supplier that my wife uses, so that she doesn't have to butcher out the rabbits herself anymore. She told me the yield and the numbers on the rabbits are really fucking good. There's a rabbit out of Texas A&M. You get about 7 to 10 pounds per rabbit every couple weeks, or So I was like, wow, that's about as good as Nige goats. Like, not gonna lie. But ultimately, what I've decided on, um, and the plan I'm gonna work and I'm gonna stick to, is Nigerian dwarf goats, predominantly because my wife wants a dairy. My wife wants to have dairy goats. So the issue that comes from Nigerian dwarf goats is that they will kid out between 1 and 4 kids every 5 months. I don't know if you've ever studied statistics, but a 1 to 4 spread of 50-50 boy versus girl, like, you're going to end up with some fucking boys. And like, yoga with goats is cool and all, but it's not exactly a commodity market that you can just fucking rely on. You know what I mean? So I need to have some sort of other backup use. So I want to get into kebab. I have been all over the world for varying reasons. Uh, and Greece, Prague, the Black Sea, the Balkan lands, France, Morocco, south of Spain. Did I already say Greece? South Italy. All of those places were my favorite, and in all of those places I could find kebab. And if it wasn't kebab, it was gyro. And then when I came back to the U.S., and I came to Texas, and I went down south to San Antonio, Corpus Christi, Galveston, I found Al Pastor. And Al Pastor ain't shit but fucking gyros with hot sauce, bro. So, like, you know, I want to get into kebab. So that's what I want to get. That's how I want to run it. And in my travels, I've found that lamb goat, goat cow, cow lamb. Cow lamb is really hard to find. You're probably not going to find cow lamb. But cow lamb, it's fine. It's good. It's really good. Like it made it to my list of like, this is my short list that I'm rattling off. These are all fantastic things. And so I ended up with some sheep. The sheep are really economical. I can't knock that. So I'm gonna roll with it. You know, if I keep ending up with the sheep. And then, so I want to run the cows, the sheep, and the goats together. And they work out really well because the goats and the cows interrupt each other's parasite cycle. So the goats don't get the cow parasites, you know, so when that transfers in that sequence. Anyways, I would need a visual aid to clearly define what I'm talking about there, because I'm not like so proficient that I feel confident teaching that. But the long and short of it is that the goats and the cows disrupt each other on the parasite cycle that keeps my inputs low. And that is the number one thing that I look for, is low inputs. Growing up, I was raised on a commercial fishing boat. You know, we pulled fish out of the water and sold it to people. So, like, you know, the only fucking input we had was some hooks and some spoons and some line. And so, just based on that ideology, I'd like to keep it as low input as possible. It is possible. It's a little bit extra work, and it's a lot more extra fucking thinking, but it is all possible. So, I use, first and foremost, I study at the highest peak of my research, biodynamic farming. But that's pretty old and pretty archaic language, and a good modernized mentor is pretty fucking far and few between. So I do my best in interpreting Rudolf Steiner's work on that, and I work that process very slowly. In the meantime, I use regenerative ranching, no-till, regenerative ag. The fucking carbon cowboy guys out here in fucking Texas are making some noise with some systems that work. But those are kind of the, I don't know, trendy community, whatever movements that exist today that are readily referenceable. Those are the principles and the techniques that I'm using. I'm also modeling all of my practices off of Japanese wagyu. A lot of people think that wagyu is just the cow. That's not entirely correct. So I'm going to give you my idiot's understanding to the abridged history of wagyu real quick, right? And I'm going to see if I can do this in like less than a minute, starting now. So in roughly 1844 or 1889, I can't remember exactly which fucking date right now, because like I've hit my vape 3 or 4 times because it's after 6 p.m. and I'm cooking dinner, and I'm already, well, the beer hadn't even taken effect, but I'm 1 beer deep. Anyways, point being, I don't remember the exact details, but somewhere around the mid to late 18th century, Japan industrialized, and they didn't need fucking cows to pull carts anymore. So they made the switch. A rumor, a spirit of the time, a fucking propaganda campaign, I don't know exactly which. Something happened in Japan that they believed that Americans were fucking big as fuck because of hamburger, because of eating beef. Like there became this kind of connotation. And then that lasted all the way through until like 1982. And it came in waves. It came in cycles. So it was like 1844. It spearheaded it. And over the course of 20 years, it ebbed downward until it peaked at a bottom. And then they revivified it in a new way. Right? When they were going in for World War I to fight Manchuria, they made a propaganda campaign that said fucking the Russian Uberman is, 19 feet fucking tall, and we have to eat beef to get as big as them, right? So they like brought it back. And then again in 1940 or the 1930s, when they started doing goofy shit for World War II, they ran the same fucking campaign again, started eating beef again. So in those 3 periods, because in 1982 it changes, 1981, 1982, same time their stock market was crashing, they were revivifying their economy through cows. But I'll get to that in a second. So in the 1840s, 1820s, 1840s range, they were just getting from a place where like cows did all the labor to like now like we want to eat cows because now we have tractors and trucks and fucking automatic machines that will do everything the cow was doing. So then in 1981, 1982, the Japanese Wagyu Association formed in 1982, not that much earlier than like I was fucking born in 89. So it's not like forever. You know, just because they put Olympics on it doesn't mean they've been doing it since fucking Greek times, but whatever. That's my own personal bias, whatever. And so in 1981, 1982, they formalized the Japanese Wagyu Association and they came up with the Wagyu Olympics, which is basically just a Japanese fucking Japan nationwide FFA cow fucking show. Like this is my idiot's guide and I'm generalizing, but like that's the fucking overview on that. And that was when finally a breed standard was collated like hard. And that's when we would say that like the breed started. But like I give you all that context so that you can understand that this was just a mutt cow until a certain point, right? Because there's also 2 periods within that time frame that I would have to look at fucking charts to even remember how they overlap and like where the Vesica Pisces on these situations is exactly. But basically, long and short of it is, Japanese was like, we want to trade with everybody, and then they were like, we want to trade with nobody, and then they were like, we want to trade with everybody again, right? So like they had one of those isolationist cycles: close, open ranks, close. So they went from like closed herds, because it's all of Japan. They went from closed herds back to open herds, back to closed herds again. And we can document, they have documented, we can trace what they used. They brought in, there was like, they used like the Scottish Angus, they used Hereford, Dexters, and Devons. Same thing they kickstarted the Akawashi off with again. So anyways, so it's, again, I just say all that just to iterate that while the Wagyu breed is a breed and now has, beyond 7 generations, and so it has a breed standard, mostly what Wagyu indicates is the actual style. So to give you the my understanding of the backlog on that is that the few farmers who did have a pipeline to the meat market, because Japan is mostly vegetarian and always has been, the few farmers who did have a pipeline to the meat market were predominantly goat farmers. Now, they've got some decent-sized goats, and they've kept the Wagyu breed in contrast to American breeds and some fucking goofy French shit like Limousine and Caroline and stuff like that. They, for the most part, kept their cow small. Very compact, I guess, is a good way to think about it. Think the Toyota Tacoma, the original one, the fucking like 90s Toyota Tacoma, the little toy, to like any Americanized truck. Like think that idea of like their cows versus our cows. So it's efficient.